Hello. Welcome to Code with NM, and I am very much excited for today's video. Let me know how many of you are excited for this video. Today, we are going to see the API validation, fast API validation, along with it, how we will connect our own created APIs with database. So those who have joined, give me just heart or something in the comment, thumbs up, so I know that you all are also excited. And before starting with anything, any explanation, any code, any XYZ, if you have any doubt regarding previous video which was CRUD on FastAPI, you can ask me right here in the live chat. This is a most important topic because just creating the APIs or having a good hold on Python won't make you a backend engineer in Python. You need to know how the DB is being connected with the Python or your API, how the data is being going through here and there onto the website or the applications, or how you're getting the data, fetching the data from that application. Each and everything is important because in real time you all will be handling millions and millions of data. Hello, hi, how are you? And welcome to Code with NM. Today's video, the actual to-do list is, this video is divided into two parts. First, we will be learning about the FastAPI validators, how the API should have certain set of rule and why that rule is important. And then in the second part, from scratch, we will be installing MongoDB. We will be creating our DBs and the schemas. The other name for schemas is table, if you're not getting the word schema. And then after that, we will be connecting our MongoDB with our Python code, which is nothing but our fast APIs. Then we will be seeing all the code we have already created in my previous life: get, post, update, and delete. So if everything is good, if you have already watched my previous live about FastAPI, now you know about fast APIs, or you already know about fast APIs. Let's jump and start with today's topic, and it's nothing but the API validation. Before that, one quick question: how many of you are already know about MongoDB or any database? Any database, you know, SQL, it can be SQL, it can be MongoDB, it can be Supabase, anything. Or else you are new to DB itself, database itself. If you are new, just type new. If you are already aware, just type +1. And let's make this session interactive. Meantime, also let me open my live chat. Okay. And I've also seen many of you, those who have already subscribed to Code with NM, have joined the Code with NM family on Discord, have already started with a hands-on knowledge and challenges and other quiz and everything in Discord, and they have started clearing that all the doubts regarding to their codes or regarding to any of the other things regarding the roadmap they have. They want to learn Python, and of course many of you have doubt after learning Python, where will we go. For example, if I learn Python, will I be a backend engineer? If I learn Python, will I be a data analyst? If I learn Python, will I be an data scientist, ML, or something else? So many of you have joined the Discord and have that one-on-one session with me in chat, or others, those who have a career guidance with me, the one-to-one session schedule on the Google Meet. So let me just talk about the career guidance one before jumping into today's topic, because today's topic is huge and then I don't want to deviate here and there. So this is my website, CODEWITHNM. I will be sharing the link with you, and here on the top you can see career guidance. So here I'm just offering first free 10 learners a free career guidance. And what will be the offering over here is, first you need to log in onto my website and then fill up the form, and the form has a basic detail like what you are studying, what background you have, what education you have pursued, and of course what field you want to go. For example, if you want to be a data analyst, you want to be a data scientist, you want to be a AI engineer, you want to be an ML engineer, you want to be an ML ops, there is a field ML ops also. So, or else you want to be a full stack engineer, front end developer, back end development, those details you need to fill. Then I will be scheduling according to my timetable and availability. I will be scheduling a call with you. That will be an half an hour call. In that call we will be understanding your requirements, your goal, and I will be guiding you through what to do, what need to do, what not need to be do. Because do's are important but don'ts are very much important, because that's how we waste our time. For example, there were no one when I was learning and growing, there was no one there to guide me. So I've waste my majority of time to learn what not to do, because there are very simple few things we need to do to get successful in life. If you want to be a data scientist, there are certain roadmap, and you need to learn those skill set and have that mindset and understand the data, and you will be a data scientist. But if you are jumping random here and then, you won't be data scientist in next 5 to 6 years, because learning skill set is another thing. For example, and learning Python, learning Java won't make you a data scientist. There are other aspects also. So that type of guidance and roadmap I will be setting with you, and according to the pace of learning we will be setting the next meeting with me. For example, if we met on 10th of July, the next session will be on 10th of August, and on 10th of August we will be just transforming your resume. If you already have, just building your LinkedIn profile, and then I will be giving you all the tools and all the things that how to apply in job. If you searching for a data scientist or want to become a data analyst, how you target the Indian company. If you are in India, if you are out of India, how to target job in Japan, Germany or US. Okay, that's all I do in career guidance. So make sure you just visit this website and fill up the form, because first then it's free. After that I have just bare minimum fees, because it's very difficult for me to have a free time in my busy schedule from morning to evening. So make sure you get that free slot first, because this is first come first serve basis. Okay, and this is very much important, because if you have a proper roadmap and understanding what needs to do, it's just you need to do that things and just walk on that part. You don't need to like me, I've already shared my experience. Like, you don't need to jump here and there and visit n numbers of YouTube channel, follow n numbers of teachers or the educators. You need to follow one who is giving you proper roadmap, because that is most important. What needs to be done and what needs not to be done, that is most important. Because if you know how to be a data scientist, you will follow that roadmap, you will learn those skill sets and the other things, and then ultimately you will be a data scientist in no time. But if you don't know how to be a data scientist, you start randomly with Python, and then you don't know after Python what needs to be done. Okay, so this is all about the career guidance, and make sure you just get that free slot. Okay, now let's start with the today's topic, which is nothing but API validation and MongoDB. Okay, so if you already watched my previous live and you were there in my previous live, we already talked about the FastAPI and all the CRUD operations in FastAPI, and we have actually in live, we have coded everything. That's what the live is all about. I will be creating everything from scratch in front of you live, where nothing is offline. I like and love to teach online live only. and that's what how student will get their doubts and they can clear it right away. So let me open my VS Code quickly. And this was it's just a quick recap of what we have already done. What we have done is we have created one DB. This is local DB, and ultimately we will be in this live we will be converting our DB. Let me just we will be converting this DB from local from student.json to actual MongoDB. Okay, and this was our complete code. We have already created the delete, the update means the put call, and nothing but the post, creating the new student, and of course get and everything. Okay, up till here, if you have already watched my previous live or have been in my previous live and joined the Discord, because I share all the session notes and everything in the Discord regarding this, a detailed explanation, everything in a PDF format. Why PDF format? Because it is easy to open that PDF format in any of the devices, like your mobile devices. If you're using tab, using laptop, or you have a system at your home, so PDF format is good to be open in each and every devices. Up till here, this is a quick recap and everything is done. Now we don't have any type of validation on our APIs. There is no validation of it. FastAPI, what is the benefit of using FastAPI? There's two benefit of using FastAPI. First, it will by default create all the documentation of this. So we don't need to create documentation. Now, what is documentation? Let's talk about that. What is documentation? So being a backend engineer, you need to create a documentation. Following that documentation, what that consists of, what are the APIs you have created, how to use it, what type of data we need to pass. So if others are using or utilizing your APIs, they will go to their documentation, and after going through the documentation, they know how to use your API. So in if you've been placed as a backend engineer, any of the programming language, I'm not just talking about the Python, so you need to create those documentation, and companies and big companies like I work for IBM and I've already worked for Microsoft and other MNCs. So they have a proper documentation team. Then too, as an engineer, you need to sit with the documentation team, and then you need to dictate them that okay, this is this, this is that, and then they will write your everything in proper English, because as being a software engineer, you are not asked to have a proper command on speech in English. Okay, but yeah, they will surely ask you about the codes and everything, so make sure you have those things. Okay, so so this is the benefit of FastAPI. It will by default, once you start creating, for example, if you start creating @app.post, this is decorator. I've already told about this is a decorator. If you start creating one API, either it can be anything from the CRUD, so it will create your documentation behind the scene. I will be showing you that documentation in this just now. Just hold be with me for a few seconds. And the second part is FastAPI also provides some validation, but that is very generic validation that is not appropriate depending on the use case. For our use case, it was a CODEWITHNM institute. We were creating an institute like in classes, a school or college or anything else. Their new student will come, they fill the admission form, and then we will record those data and their roll number, the interested subject, and that's what our project was all about, the real world project. So let's continue over this, and let's have our custom validators, because this is a very generic one, and generic one doesn't works in real world scenarios. So we will have our own custom validation by using one Python library, and we need to install it. So I will be installing that and will be giving you the command in the chat if you are doing it with me. And of course, all the sessions and everything required for this live, I will be sharing that in the Discord. So let me remove this comment. And if you remember how we just launch our FastAPI, it's nothing but UV cron and the file name, of course, and the file name we have our app. Here is the app we have created on line number 5, and then hyphen reload. So this was the command. If it is not visible, let me zoom in a bit. I hope now it is visible to you all. Yes, let's hit enter and it will start our local server. So this is our local server. This is a link http 127.0.0. Let's copy that. And this is the documentation. I was talking about. Oops, by default I clicked on close button. Okay, so hope this is visible. Yeah, so how you can visit it? So it's simply you have that 127.0.1 colon 8000 is your port, and slash docs means docs. So this were the API we have already created in the previous life. The first one was home, the second was a slash student, the third one was the for post slash student, and then get student by id, then update student with the particular id, and delete student with the id. So this was the documentation created by FastAPI, and how to use it, what was the 200 success response, and what was the type application JSON, because we are dealing with the JSON, we have created student.json file in local DB, of course. So this documentation is being created by default by FastAPI. This is the benefit of the FastAPI, and this is known as Swagger document. What is known as Swagger document? And how you, if you need to create new student, means you add new student, means that one student is new student is taking admission in your institute. So we need to pass the id, we need to pass the name of the student and the course he is interested in. So this is the structure of your API. Okay, yeah, hope this is clear. You can also try this out in your local if you have all the code base handy. Okay, I won't spend much more time because it's just simply a documentation about the APIs we have been created. Okay, so let me close this and let's jump on to the today's topic, which is very much important, and we will be doing a lot of changes in this code right now. And of course, this is not a professional things to work. What is professional thing is work to, we don't have a proper file structure, of course we don't have a proper coding structure here. We in the previous live, my motive was just to you all to introduce what is FastAPI, and I want you all to understand what was the FastAPI and how the CRUD operation works. So that's what this code was all about. But today we will be actually working like in real world, how we work. We have the file structure, the folder structures and everything. So I will be creating those right here right away, and I will be explaining you what is the importance of this, that, and why I am creating it. Okay, so let's start with the FastAPI validation. So yes, you have seen Pydantic. This is the library I'm going to use to have a validation over our APIs, over our fast APIs. Okay. So before jumping into the code itself, let's create the structure and everything, and hope this side is clear for you all. So first thing first, as we need to connect it to the DB, I don't type any code right now, just creating the files, because today's agenda is to have the validation and of course the DB, and we know the DB itself is MongoDB itself. Okay. And one question for you are, meantime I'm creating this file structure, the folder structure, or you can also say the architecture of our backend. This is also known as the architecture of our backend, how this file, the different py file, Python file will be communicating with each other, is also known as the architecture of our backend. Okay, so meantime just you all say, is MongoDB is SQL or no SQL database? Meantime I will create all the required file. Okay, if you all know about DB, you can easily answer this. And we need to have requirement.txt. Okay, let's see who answers this. Again, I'm just repeating the question: is MongoDB is a SQL or no SQL database? Meantime, I will have the requirement.txt filled. So we required FastAPI, and what is the importance of this file I will be explaining to you all. And we need to have UV cron, then motor, and of course Pydantic, because we need to work with Pydantic. Done. This 4 are required only. Save this and let's see who answers it. Okay, so what is this requirements.txt? Requirements.txt is nothing but, in our project, is all the Python library which we are using or utilizing in this project, that are just there in this file. There it is resting in this file. And now there are two importance of this. If anyone have your project, they will go to requirements.txt, and they will see, okay, yeah, you have used FastAPI, you have used UV cron, you have used motor, and you have used Pydantic. Don't worry about the line number 3rd and 4th, motor and Pydantic. I will be explaining you why they are here. Rest UV cron and FastAPI you have already seen in my previous life, so make sure you go and visit my YouTube channel, go to the playlist, click on the first playlist, which is the Python developer, and go to #8, and you will be learning about FastAPI and everything. Okay, so it's nothing but we are using FastAPI, we are creating FastAPI. It's run on a local server which is hosted on UV cron. That's it. That's a simple explanation for right now. Okay, so what is motor and what is Pydantic? We are starting with the Pydantic, and motor, when I will be touching that motor part, I will be explaining to you. So Pydantic is nothing but the library of Python. First thing first, it is a library in Python. Okay, now what does this library do? This is important. So for a simple explanation for you all, it's nothing but it has a API validation rules which we will be going to create. So it provide us the tool to create a validation over our all the APIs. Or else if you want to have that validation on individual APIs, for example, if you want to have only get and post validation, you can have those. Okay, so now what is the second importance of this file? First, I already told you, if you someone visit your project, they will know what all the libraries you have used. The second important is, if for example, this everything is installed in my system, everything is, because these are the library we need to install in the Python using pip command. Okay, everything is installed in my computer or my system or in this project. Now if you want to install it, usually what you do, if you learn from any other YouTube or any other source you are learning, you will see this, then you will run this, you will get an error, you will copy that error, you will go on Google, you will paste that error, then Google will give you a command, and then you will execute that command, and okay, the library is in your system, and then you continue, then again you generate that error. And this is very wrong way to learn Python, to execute any of the project in Python, because I'm not sure from where you are learning, but they needs to provide this requirement.txt. Inside this you will know what needs to be installed, so you will install this manually one by one. That is also wrong. There is a one shortcut to do it. If they provide you requirements.txt and it has everything, every library which is required for this project, just hit this command. I'm sharing the command with you all. Just hit this command in the live chat, and you will have all the things in place. So let me type here first, let me clear the console, and let's say install. The command is very simple. You need to have pip first, because this is a Python library. So let's say pip install -r and the file name itself, which is requirement.txt, and just hit enter. So let me copy this command and provide you in the chat, and also all the session notes and this command and everything I will be providing you after this live is ended in the Discord in session notes. So I will be providing this notes to everyone, but in case if you are doing this with me live, then you need this command. So simply you make sure that you have this requirements.txt, and then have this command pip install -r. -r is the flag and the file name, and hit enter. What will this VS Code or Python will do, it will go and search for this requirement.file, and then it will go and first execute the first library. So in our case, the first library is FastAPI. I've already have a FastAPI in my system. That's why it says requirement satisfied. Then let's scroll down and let's see the second one is the UV cron. So it should install the UV cron, and let me just quickly have this. See, the second one is after the FastAPI, it's a UV cron requirement already satisfied. It says already satisfied, and second one was UV cron. The third one was motor, and motor is used for the see here it says requirement already satisfied motor, and motor is used for the MongoDB. We need to connect our Python code with the MongoDB. That's why the motor is being used, and I will be talking about a motor in detail when we come on to the MongoDB one. And the last one was the fourth one, Pydantic. So requirement already satisfied, say for the Pydantic, because I already have all these things installed. And the other requirement things means the internal dependency of this libraries. So uh, it will install in your system also. It is already have been installed in my system too. Okay, so with the help of one single line code, pip install -r requirement.txt, our 4 libraries of Python has been installed. So one of the things that I want to discuss with you all was this. This is the most important thing, and why it is most important. Let me just have this in the screen first. So this is the beginner mistake you all do while time of learning Python. If you have someone's code, you just try to run that code, and you will get the libraries issue or library not found, module not found type of error. Then you will copy that error, go to Google, and Google will provide, ultimately Google or ChatGPT or anything the AI you are using right away, and then they will provide you solution. You copy paste in the terminal and hit, then it will install, and then your error has been gone. This is the very beginner mistake you are doing. If you are having someone's code, ask them to create a requirement.txt file in their project folder and have all the library listed like this, and then you just need to hit pip install -r and the file name and hit enter. That's only one line of command. So this will save your time and efforts and energy and frustration also, because the frustration is the most important thing in software engineering. If you are frustrated, then you won't be able to complete or understand any project in life. Okay, so this was one of the what we can say, one giveaway from me for you all. This was not part of my today's life, but I have done this for you all. Okay, so if the requirement.txt you all understood this, let's jump on to now main.py, and just type cool in the chat, those who find the requirement.txt is actually in real it's cool. I'm waiting for your comments. Okay, so cool. Yeah, hello and welcome to Code with NM. Hi. Okay, let's start with the main.py. I am done with here and there and providing everything up till now. Let's focus on the today's life agenda, which is nothing but to have the validation. So I've created the architecture of this complete project. First is db.py, database.py, main.py. We already have from the previous live, models.py, and of course the requirement.txt I've already talked about, and we don't require the student.json now. So let's delete this student.json, and ultimately we will be creating our own database in MongoDB and schemas and everything. So let's remove this. This file is not required now. So now we are dealing with only 4 files, out of which 3 are very useful, and the requirement.txt is useful for the project structure and initialization and everything, the libraries which are required. Okay. So why the structure is important? Right now we have only limited APIs. For example, to get one post, one put, and one delete means all the code. And why to get one is just a simple home message, means if you hit the slash you will get the welcome to code within. The second one is getting all the data, all the student records from the DB, and the second one is the by specific ID. Okay, so now we need to convert this one file project into multiple files, means multiple structure. So what makes it easy to do it? So first thing first, while dividing your project into multiple files or multiple structures, please new video is required to introduce in data structure. New video is required to introduce in data structure. Okay, you are asking about a video is required for data structure. You want to learn data structure? Okay, no worries. I will continue. Let's what I've just not. I think I've got it wrong or got it right. Just comment in the live. That's you required a new video for in data learning data structure. Okay, so why architecture is important to create any backend is sure. I will be doing. You wanted live or you wanted offline? I can do a video offline and then upload it on the YouTube and you can learn data structure offline. Or else if you wanted live, I can do it live only. Okay, I'm comfortable with anything. Doing it live is much more easier for me. Doing it offline is a bit stressful for me because I love to teach live. I'm doing this from last 14 years offline, communicating with student and learners. I love to do that. I love to teach. Okay, so back to the main.py. So everything is there here in the main.py. Why architecture is important? We divide our codes into certain parts. I will be explaining you what are that certain part is. But just for understanding this thing right away is we divide it into certain parts. First thing is routes. Now what is route? This is route. Slash is my route. Slash students is my route. Slash student ID is my route. So dividing into the different routes will help us to debug the code and focus on the one thing at a time. And what is module then? What is module.py then? Why we need a module.py here? So I'm talking about the validation here. So all the validation and everything means the business logic for our APIs will go inside this module.py. We can have what type of string we are just taking from the user in our API. What if you are just accepting the blank space in the API. For example, someone passed the ID, someone passed the course name, but they forgot to pass their name. This is a blank data. So are you willingly to accept that blank data and store it into the DB, or you want to raise an exception? This is one type of validation we need to have in our place depending on the projects. Okay, you wanted live, I will do it. Data structure, but it will take I think the video will be more than 2.5 or 3 hours to learn the complete DB in. If you want to do it in Python, it will be much more easier. Okay, then we need to have a validation for ID. ID can only be numbers. Then we need to have a validation for name. For example, there will be a name of 100 characters. Then it is not possible because it will ultimately increase our DB space and also other issues will be arising. So we need to limit the character for the name. For example, you can allow up till 10 letters. Ultimately in Python it is known as characters. So we can allow and have a validation that you can enter your name, but it is valid up till 10 characters. That the and the for the course name also, and what type of data we need to accept or reject, this type of validation we need to have here. Okay, so model.py will hold all the validation things over here. So I don't want to mix my validation with my APIs here. So debugging will be much more complex if you have everything in one file itself. So break down your code, and that is ultimately knowing your architecture, that model.py have my business validation and actual logic or other things goes inside main.py. You can have the other folder known as routes. Inside route you can create get call, put call, post call, delete call, and inside that file you can have one get call, inside post you can have one post call. So that is known as routes in the architecture, but I am not complicating those stuffs right away in the life, or else it will be much more difficult to you all to get the stuffs. So I'm just keeping it basic. We have main, we have model.py, we have db.py. Now what is the importance of db? All the db connections, codes and everything, all the ports and the localhost and everything we are going to use, I will be showing those code also. Those will be going inside this database. So how usually beginners code, they have everything in one file. They will have the DB connection above here, all the APIs and classes above. Then they start creating API, then they create validation and everything inside one file. Then debugging it is much more complex. But we use the architecture because we have those things and we now know what is architecture is all about. So we can divide the db part in one file, the validation in the other file, and of course all the apis and everything in one file. Okay, up till now, if any doubt you can ask. I am starting with the validation itself and then I will be jumping on to the model.py. So I will be using the library which is Pydantic, and Pydantic comes with many functions which are useful for us. One of that is the base model. Once I will complete the code, and then I will be explaining to you all what are the importance base models and other things hold in this code. Okay, meantime, if you have any doubt regarding this live what we have seen up till now, you can ask and clear it. Okay, or any other thing, any other topic you want to ask me. And make sure you ask me answer which is answerable in this life. For example, don't ask me a complete roadmap how to be an AI engineer. I can just provide you the roadmap on high level, not in the deep level, because to be an AI engineer it's not that easy. Just learning the Python and learning the advanced Python, means the NumPy, pandas and keras and other things, won't make you and what we can say is AI engineer. There first you need to understand data, then second thing you need to understand what are the types of data, and then second thing you need to understand what are models, what are models pipeline, and what are other stuffs in ML and data science. Then again you need to choose one particular field. For example, you want to work with images or video, then you need to master CV. What is CV? Computer vision. You need to master advanced computer vision, sorry, you need to master advanced computer vision. And if you want to work with text and other things, then you need to master advanced NLP. And if you want to create your own chatbots and intelligent chatbot, I'm just not talking about the normal chatbot. Normal chatbot can be achieved through NLP also, but if you want to create your own chatbot which is advanced, like ChatGPT, Gemini and other Claude and everything, so you need to learn what is LLM and textual data and other things. Okay, so there are layers and layers and layers of the learning and understanding those, then only you can be an AI engineer. Okay, so this was the high level roadmap if you want to be an AI engineer. If you don't want to be an AI engineer, someone was in my previous life, someone was asking me about the full stack development. Okay, if you are interested in full stack development, first thing, what is full stack development? The person who knows the front end, the person who knows the back end, the person who knows database is not a full stack developer. Now everyone, then what do you mean by then full stack developer? I know man, I know mean, and they are not full stack developer. Yes, they are not full stack developer. Knowing front end and back end and database doesn't make you a full stack developer. First thing first, you need to understand, because today's MNCs are much more demanding. Knowing the front end and back end doesn't make you full stack developer in their eyes. You need to know Docker, you need to know Kubernetes, you need to know cloud technologies, how your application will be deployed and how you will have those data store. For example, in MongoDB or in MySQL, we can store the users data which they will be utilizing and using our application. But what about the other storage data? For example, how many instances, instances of our application? For example, the DB is in Malaysia and the application, the user are in US. So the website loads very slow. So what are the techniques you will be using to make your website fast or to render it fast? So if you are good in React, you will say lazy loading and other things, but of course this all factors depend on where your DB and everything is there. So that's why the instances come. For example, I have deployed my application on AWS. For India region, I will be deploying it on the region where it is very sorry for this. I will be deploying on the region where Asian region DB is accessible through cloud and it is very fast, not just the fetching the data and the loading the website and other stuffs. If there is a heavy traffic on that website, how the other pods spin up in Kubernetes and Docker, and then your website won't crash. So there are other stuffs. So once you know this, you can call yourself a full stack developer. Just not knowing a 1 DB, one backend, and one front end technology like React or Angular or anything else, you can't call yourself a full stack in today's world. Okay, so just learning man and mean and you call yourself full stack is not correct now. Okay, I will be explaining this all to you, so just bear with me once I complete the code. And also, if any other roadmap you want, a high level picture of that roadmap, I will be explaining to you all in this live. Okay, just ask me in the chat. So this what I'm creating is I'm creating nothing but, let me just let's skip of line number 5 and line number 7. I'm creating the validation like for name. There is a field validation. Its minimum length of the name should be 2, means it can be AB. This is the 2 character, and the maximum length of the name is 50. Okay, so that's what I'm doing over here. Is it's nothing rocket science I'm doing. I just gave you a rough idea what I am doing here is, and ultimately this is the student full name, of course. So I'm done with my first validation. Let's have the other 2 or 3 also. We will have a validation for course, we will have the validation for age, and we will have the validation for email. So let me actually copy that code itself, or else it will take much more time. Meantime, any doubt, anything, you can ask me, because after completing this, now there are more 2 videos on the Python development as a Python backend. So this is the MongoDB one. The next there will be another video, because now we have everything. Now we have in this, after this live, we will have our DB, we will have the working codes and everything. Now this code just rests in your system, and this is very unsafe. So what we can do, we need to have our code on cloud, and the safest and the free thing, because we love free thing in the world. For an example, if you are in a mall and you got a free taste testing of any new product launch, you just jump and go in and taste the free things in the mall. Okay, so that's why we love free things, and the one free thing that you can have your code on cloud is nothing but GitHub. So in the next part, we will be learning Git and GitHub, and we will have our all the backend codes and everything in the GitHub. And also GitHub help us to get placed, because if you have contributed in other open projects, or you have done many projects and have everything on the GitHub, you are created, or you will be creating, once you see my live how to do it, you will be creating your GitHub profile, and make sure you have that GitHub profile link in LinkedIn and in your resume, of course. Okay, So that's the important of GitHub, and we will be learning GitHub and Git from scratch in my next live. And after that, we will have the last session, which will be one good project, and of course the other half of that live, the last live, will be doubt solving from start, from installing Python up till the Git and GitHub, and then we are done. If you know everything inside out without seeing or any reference, then you can call yourself a backend developer in Python. Okay, that's what you will be after learning all, after learning all from all my life, from hash 1 up till I think this is hash 9, hash 10, and hash 11. Okay, and then I will be starting with the data analyst. Of course, how to be a data analyst, we will be seeing we will be seeing and learning Excel, of course, uh, and it is important to learn advanced Excel also, the VLOOKUP and everything. And then we will be jumping on to the visualization of the datas, which we do in a, if you are aware of what is the work and tech stack you use if you are a data analyst. Let me also see the live chat. Power BI, nothing but Power BI. If you're thinking too hard, let me help you out. It's Power BI, the tech we are using. Okay, I think it will take a lot time if I type the code manually, because the code is too big. What I do, I just have the code in place and I will be explaining you to all. Don't go with the this variable names. I just make it much more complex. So this is our file complete, 60 line of code for our validator, and I will be explaining to you all each one by one, and also have a comment in place if it is very difficult for you to understand. And I will be sharing each and every line detail explanation in that PDF file, which I will be going to share with you all after this live in Discord. So make sure you join the Discord. Where is the Discord link? In the live chat I have pin one comment of mine. In that you will find my website, also the Discord link. So make sure you join that Discord. Okay, so let's start with this the explanation of this, and this is very much important. Okay, meantime, if any doubt, you can stop me and ask me that you didn't get it. Okay, let's start with from line number 1. I will be explaining you each and every line. Okay, so let's start with the line number 1. From typing, import optional annotated. We have imported optional and annotated. So what is optional means? Also, I have one screen on my left side, so I need to see the live chat also there. Okay, so what is optional? Optional is a mark field that can be omitted or set to none. What is it? It is a mark field. Means it is a field, nothing. We are using fields. If you see, we are using fields. So it is the same thing, only it is a marked field. It can be set as none. What is the purpose of this optional is, we can use optional for age and email. For example, if someone is filling out your form, we are just taking an example of CODEWITHNM Institute. So we can take the example, if someone are only interested to reveal their name and the course they are interested, but they are not comfortable to uh, just reveal their age to us or the email, that's why we use optional. So optional is, we can set that field as none, or else if someone is just providing their email, we can store their email. So this is one type of validation. The first one is, we can set it as none, it is not mandatory, or else if they fill the data, we will store it as a string. Understood line number 15? And what is the important of optional? In the form, everything is like, for example, like in while time of creating the Gmail also, Gmail asks us about the gender, and some people are not comfortable to reveal their gender. So if that Gmail is coded in Python, the backend is in Python, they must be using this optional from typing. Understood? This was a very simplest example of optional. Okay, let's jump on to annotated. Okay, what is annotated? Let a type be paired with extra metadata. Okay, means we can pair two things with it. We can pair two things with it. For example, uh, let me take one example. Two things at okay, let's if you ask someone about the city and their state, which city they are and their state, and you are saving those two in your DB together like an address. So for example, I'm born and bottom from Mumbai and my state is Maharashtra. So I'm storing this data Mumbai comma Maharashtra in my DB with the help of annotated. Means storing with an extra pair. I will be showing that use of annotated in the code here itself. You can see we are storing everything as a string, and from where the data we are getting from all this field like name, course, age and email. This four will come here and they will store as a string where in py object id. And what is this? This is nothing but this is used to store everything in the MongoDB. That is the later part. I'm not jumping to that. Okay, let's come to the second line. From Pydantic, we have imported base model, fields and field validation and config dict. Okay, so what is the purpose of base model over here? So the purpose of base model is nothing but that it's for every schema in DB means table, if you are not aware of that. So schema intent from field add, field validation, and there are much more things. It has field validator and fields, and we can create our own validation. Means we can create, I've already talked about that, we will be creating our custom validation. So we can, with the help of base model, we can create our custom validation on any of the parameter or attribute. What is parameter over here? In API we have the student ID, which is nothing but the parameter, and in the terms of API it known as search query. I will be just showing you what is a search query is all about. So just understand this base model is used to create your own custom validation. Okay, any doubt up till now? What is optional, what is annotated, what is base model? I will be going slow because this is most important. If you want to be an backend engineer in Python, you need to know each and every term. That's why I'm not hurrying up and jumping onto the topic and just going on. We need to understand each and every libraries and modules and function we have used in this code. Although you will find this because if you are learning this for the first time, you will be finding it difficult, but just understand what is the concept and what is this called and what is the use of a base model in this code, and then you can revise later on, so you will be ultimately getting this. Okay, so this is known as metadata. What is metadata? My name, course, age, email is metadata. Let's get first thing right. So anything we are asking from the user is known as metadata. Got it? What is metadata? This is metadata: name, course, age and email in this example, in our example. Okay, what is the use of this field? Use of field is nothing but add validation rule to this metadata. We will be using this field function to have validation. So see, on line number 12, on name, first thing first, name we are taking it as a string and we are using field to create a validation. So validation is minimum length of the name can be 2 and maximum can be 50. That's it. So we have created our own validation. This is our own validation. No, this is the add validation. If you want to create your own custom validation, we need to use field validator. We need to use field validator. So let's see how I've used field validator. If you see the field validator over here, have just want the name and course, and then validation is here. So what is our custom validation? We are saying it cannot be blank. I will be explaining you this code and what is this, but just for understand where I've used field validator and how I've created my own custom things. So I've created my own custom thing is I am saying that name and course cannot be empty. The email is optional, but name and age is not optional. You need to provide your name, you need to provide your course, and also the error I am raising is must not be blank or white space. Means you cannot hit just a space bar, you cannot have a blank space over there. And what is this raise value error and everything? So I have already explained the exceptional handling in my one of the live, so just go and watch and clear your topic, because this is not a hard code. This is very easy code if you are good enough with function that I've already thought, which is known as method in Python. I've already thought about how to use the classes and object, and of course the error handling and the other things in my previous life. So if those concepts are clear, then only you will understand this code. This is not a very hard code, it's very simple code. Okay, so now you understand field and field validator, what are the use of this. Now let's jump onto the config dict. So it is used for what I can say, how I can explain this. It's used for configure models. It's like a behavior, but it's also known as for I'm not getting that word. Let me recall that. It's nothing but like how my API will be behaving if something not passed is something passed. Like here, this is the only place I'm using the config dict, and it checks the behavior of my this complete file. It checks the complete, it checks with the complete behavior of my the models. Means all the validation I have created in this file. It will check the attributes, it will check the uh, all the name and course and fields and everything, and the metadata that I have created in this file. It will validate this file itself. That's what the config data is all about. You can just keep your mouse over it, and VS Code will give you the definition of the config code. Okay, I'm not getting the exact word to explain it, but this is the basic explanation, that it will check everything inside this model file once we execute the code. Okay, now let's jump onto the third import we have used is bson, and from bson we have imported object id. Now why object id is important? So in MongoDB we have object id by default. MongoDB creates an id for your data, and it is in alphanumeric number. Now, what is alphanumeric? It's the combination of letters and numbers, that is known as alphanumeric. So MongoDB provide a native ID, means MongoDB provide the ID itself to your data, and you can also provide your ID to your data, but MongoDB also provides that. That's why to use it or to import it in your code, we use object ID, which is nothing but comes from bson. Okay, I hope this three import is clear. Let me know in the comment, does thumbs up or clear, and I will be continuing with the explanation. Meantime, you can just answer this in the live chat. Now line number 7, py object id equals to annotated string and fields. I've already explained you about this, but let me also explain you once again. So what is this? This is nothing but a document intended. The py object id is in document intended. This string represent MongoDB object id, even though the underlining type is plain string once initialized. For example, we have everything in string. We have everything in string. And see, here also I have written that also helper. So MongoDB object id plays nicely with Pydantic v2, because we are not just storing the data in db, we are getting the data from the db, we are updating the data in db, we are deleting the data in db, and db works in different format, and of course our Python works in only string format or dictionary or list. They are nothing but inside it the data is stored in the string format. So that's why this line is much important, because while you are dealing with the database, you need to have that type of conversions and object IDs and other things, because behind the scene it's nothing but the, for Python it's nothing but the string, but for MongoDB it's in the different data types. Okay, Hope up till now this is clear. Okay, I'm seeing clear thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Very good. Okay, let's jump on to the class student base and base model. So this shared the schema, all other student model build on. So validation rules are written. So I've already explained you the validation rule and share field. So name, course, age and email are shared among everything for every API, get API, and of course update, which is put and delete, and post, which is used for creating our new student in our DB. So these are the validation rules, and let's quickly go through the validation rule. We have already seen for name, it is in a string format, and the fields are used. Why fields are used, I already explained to you. The minimum length of the name is 2 and the maximum can be 50, and we can pass the description and student full name. Second is the course, it is again the string, and the field is used. The minimum same is, the minimum length of the course is 2 and the maximum is 50. Description is the course the student is enrolled in. Of course, that's what the course is all about. And the age is integer format. Of course, it is a number. And GE and LE. What is GE and LE? It's very easy, and the description is the student age. Let you all just comment this. What is GE and LE in this code? It's simple maths. It's simple maths. Let's see who get it. And the last one I will just explain you. Last one is the object itself. Sorry, optional itself, because it's the email. For our, I'm keeping it as optional. You can keep it as a mandatory, but I want to explain you the optional part over here. That's why I'm keeping email as optional. And the default value of this is none. Just remember, default value of this email is none. Okay. If client sends his or her email, it will store it as string, or else the default value will always be none. This none means that first initially it has none, and the student email address is the description. Let me know what is GENL in the chat. Yes. Okay, I will be telling you what it is. Don't get stressed, and don't think more of it. G is nothing but greater or equals to, and LE is but less or equals to. So greater or equals to 5 and less or equals to 100. Okay, so our age is range from 5 and more than 5 till 100 and less than 100. Okay, for in today's world it is unrealistic that someone of 100 is learning Python or still alive, but okay, but I'm keeping, because human can live up to 100. That's what I've just have greater than equal to 5 and less than equals to 100. Hope this 4-line name, course, age, email is now understood by you all. I'm going very slow and I'm touching each and every line, because I know seeing this code in one go can make you, okay, this is hard, I won't get it, I won't learn Python. This type of feeling you should not get it. That's why I'm going very slow and I'm touching each and every part and each and everything here. Okay. So at least you can from your side just give me a thumbs up, so I will know that you all are getting it. Okay, and why this all are important? These are validators. Why this all are important? Because in APIs anybody can pass any data in ID, any data in email, any data in age. They can pass age as 30, but 30 will be in their letters, not in numbers. They can pass 6 as age, SIX, 6. They can pass 10 as age, TEN, 10. In words they will pass. So there should be validators and basic set of rules for the APIs and for the all the metadata that we are asking from the end user or the people, those who are utilizing our API. Okay, let's jump onto the line number 17 and understand it. What is the @field underscore validator? I already explained you. The validator is we can create our own custom validator by using field underscore validator. So we are creating our own custom validator on two things, name and course. And what we are checking is the basic length we are checking, because if someone pass the length of 60 or 70, so with the help of Pydantic, because this comes with the Pydantic. If you see, field validator comes from Pydantic. So with the help of, that's why I'm saying, with the help of Pydantic validators, we are defining one class method, and with that help of class method, we are defining that it cannot be null, it cannot be empty, it cannot be one single space, because in the API space, if you hit the space bar, that is also recorded as data, and that is also being counted in the API. Okay, so we can't keep it as blank. It should not be blank or white space. Okay, so how I have done this using a class method inside this. This is the function I've created known as not underscore blank. This is my naming style as a professional. You can name it whatever you want. You can name your name, you can name it as function1, you can name it as blank, not blank, anything else. Okay, so what this reject string that are only white space. For your example, let me have that white space simply means this is white space. I just hit one single space. This is white space. This is known as white space. Okay, if you're not getting it what is white space, this is one single space you're hitting is known as white space. Okay, and on success it trimmed the surrounding white space and little case the value. So for example, what I'm saying is the line number 20 space also store down that way. Now it is still breaking. I'm not audible. Let me check my mic. Is it now fine or my mic is misbehaving? Let me know in the chat fast so I can continue. Okay. Sorry for the misbehaving of the mic, but that I can control the software, but I can control the hardware, of course. Hope it's now better and you all can hear me. Okay. So hope this is clear. This is clear. what we are doing in this code. So up till here we are checking the white space and everything. If there is a white space or a blank, it will raise an exception, or else here it will come and v dot strip, it will be stripping the space before and after the name. And of course this dot title, what this means is, it's nothing but if you have everything small, if the user provide everything small, it the title will nothing the title will do this, it just have the n capital, it capitalize the first letter. So if user provide is in this format, it will be storing in this format, do this, nothing else. Okay, dot title. So what v strip do, it will remove the space, trailing space, and what dot title will do, it will just have your name store in this format. Okay, so this the code is, now you understand what this code do, this 5 lines or 6 lines of code. It's not that hard. So we have our own custom validation on email also. If someone provide their email, uh, it's the same thing. If you see here, we only have on the email and the class method, and now I'm saying it as validate email. Let me quickly see the live chat also if my voice is, yes, it is fine now. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Okay, okay, here also we are checking the same thing. Okay, but it is optional, so we are keeping it as an optional. And then if v is none, I'm taking as v as a variable. Here also we are taking the v which will be having those value, and then with the help of that variable we are checking everything. So I'm doing the same thing over here is, if v is none, return v. Why v is none, return v? First thing first, we are saying that email is optional, means if user doesn't provide anything, it will stored as none. So we are checking that condition. If v is none, so return v only, means return none only, because v is none. This means if v none is equals to none, nothing but, because we are saying that it is an optional field, so it can be null. The second is, if someone provide their email, so we are v dot strip. Strip is again, they can provide their email, like for my email is codewithnm.com. So just an example, codewithnm.com space. So the strip will remove the space, and dot lower, what it will do, if someone just enter their email in this way, or might they enter their email like this, the first letter is capital, so dot lower, what it will do, it will convert each and every letter of that email into small caps. This is your email, it will convert everything into small caps. This is the validator we have implemented, our own validator. Okay, and here is the second thing is, if @ not in v, because we hold the complete email, and if @ is not in v, means in the email, or dot, because this is important, @ is important, dot is important, is not there in v, split from @ split from @ and -1 is nothing but from the behind side. If you know the slicing, -1 is the end element of their complete string. And then raise and value exception must be a valid email. So this is nothing but our we are checking the email, and we have created our own custom email validator. Okay, if you know about, I don't want to go into the email and other stuff, but there is a concept known as RFC email validation. If you know about it, and this is a lightweight sanity, I don't just want to use that very gimmick and high words like RFC, sanitizer and everything. My main concept is, you need to understand the code in the simplest and easiest format. I don't want to bombard you with the hard English and super exciting words. I don't want to go with that stuff. That's why I'm not using that RFC, if anyone knows about it, and lightweight sanity check. So I don't want to use that stuff, because it's nothing but we are stripping the space, extra space in the email. We are converting the any capital letter found in our email into a small letters, because email are always in the small letters. And of course, if we don't found the @ or dot, then not found, then we are saying that raise and value exception must be a valid email, and then return v. Of course, if this is fine, if this is fine, this is fine, this, it completes the check, means our email is in small letters, it has at the rate gmail, not gmail, it has at the rate, it can be hotmail, any email you are using, it can be hotmail. So it has, it should have at the rate, it should have dot, it should be in the all small caps. So this is small caps, means all small letters. Then ultimately this is fulfilled. So just basically return code with nm at the rate gmail.com. That's what the example I have taken, and store it in the RDB. That's what. Okay, hope you understand this now. Now let's go to the next, which I have created a class student create student base, and nothing here it is, I'm just saying payload for post student, no id, mongo generates it. If the mongodb doesn't generate an id for you, which in the real world or in your test example or the local example, it won't happen, because if you are not generating the id, mongodb will generate it. So that's why I don't have any type of check while time of creating the student. How I know this is creating a student? I'm using post call. Post call is used to create anything. That is why I don't have anything inside, any validation inside for post call. Okay, and this is the validation rule for the metadata we are taking from the post call. But for id we don't want any type of validation. That's why I'm directly saying pass. Okay, and what it will be do, this student create, what it will be do, it will have all the student base things. So this is student base we have created. This all validation is applicable for the post call itself, but we are doing nothing for the id itself. Understood? That's why this code is empty, because this all the above code is validated for the post call itself. Now for update, uh, we you can use the same thing again. For update also you can use the same thing, but I have a few other things over here. For example, you can see the name, course, age and email. Why this is important? Because while time of updating the existing data, you can update the name of the user, you can update the course of the user, you can update the age of the user, and you can also update the email of the user, because updating is valid for all the four metadata leaving id. id will be unique and you won't be providing any access to update or to touch or to manipulate that id. So we can uh, manipulate all this four metadata, but you never provide access to the id. Okay, then again the same value, there's the same code, this is same code. While updating the name and course, we need to have these things in place, no white space, no blank, the same code. This is the same code I've just copy pasted below, and that is done. And the last is nothing but the class student out, and I'm also having the same rules that I have created for student base. So I'm just, because this is all done in the class, this is known as inheritance. I've used that concept and just passing the parent class into the child class. The student out has become the child class. Same I have done here. Student base is a parent class to the student create, which is a child class. And here what we are saying is nothing but we are just talking about the id, because we have not done anything with the id. But now why we need to uh, touch the id if it is very much important? Id is nothing but the roll number you got in your college, school or university number, or anything else you, which should be unique for each and every data. So we don't touch it. But why we are now doing it here in student out? If you have any idea, you can comment, or else I will wait for a few seconds only. I won't waste time more on this, because I need to jump on the main.py and let's change the code and let's see how this all validation works, because I need to jump onto the MongoDB too. And let's wait for a few more seconds. Okay, so up till from start, from student base up till here student update, we have all the validation in everything with the metadata. But this all metadata, each and every individual student which have his or her name, course, age and email is associated with ID in MongoDB. And I've already told you that MongoDB will be creating alphanumeric ID for each and every data, and that ID looks like this underscore ID. That ID metadata means, our example, name is name, our one course is course. This are all the parameters inside our APIs. So the ID parameter is nothing but underscore ID. That's what I have written over here. What we return to the client includes the MongoDB ID as a plain string. For example, if someone hit your get call, so we will be returning the underscore ID also. That's why we have said here is ID, the format of ID string, and the field validator is nothing but alias, and it in the MongoDB it is underscore ID. In our case, we are passing it as ID to the client, to the user of our API, but to get it from the DB it should be underscore ID. Okay, hope you understand why we are touching the ID over here is. So last is the simple model underscore config, this line, and why it is important. It allows the model to build using the underscore ID part. Okay, and that ID should be associated with the name itself and all the other attributes. For example, the email and the age and courses. That's what we are doing over here is. Simple, we are done with the model.py. I know it's a bit boring, it's a bit complex, but this is how it is. And once you learn it, it will be much more interesting, because now you can create your own validation on all the APIs you will be creating in future. Okay, once you start playing around with it, it will be much more interesting. So let's take 2 seconds or 3 seconds break, and then I will be jumping onto the main.py. Meantime, you can comment anything, any doubt, if it is not clear to you all. Okay, I think 2 or 3 seconds. I've taken more than 2 and 3. It was 5 seconds. Let's jump on to the main.py, and we have all our validators and everything, every logic about the validators in models.py. And now let's implement those validators and everything into our APIs, onto our APIs which we have created, slash and slash student and slash student slash student ID and everything. Before that, let's understand what is main.py over here, and what the important it's hold into the file system or the architecture I was talking about. So FastAPI itself is a route definition that ties the, in this example, that ties the MongoDB collection which will be having in the database.py, and together with the validator schema. So validator schema is nothing but the model.py. So validation we have in model.py, database and everything related to the DB, which is MongoDB in our case, we will having in the database.py, and the fast API application will be going inside this main.py. Okay, so now you got the importance of db.py, main.py and models.py. Okay, every route I've already told about that. Slash student is one route, slash student slash ID is the another route, and so on. Okay, so every route keeps the same URL shape as the original JSON file version, but in while time of storing into the DB, the picture change, because how this works is you need to have a asynchronous call. Now what is asynchronous call? anyone can answer me what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous? I will continue. So we need to have a asynchronous connection with our database, which is MongoDB, so that it can lean on, means it can depend on Pydantic validation instead of a manual one. Because a manual check, you hit one API from Postman and then you go and check into the DB that all that spacing issue and everything I've talked about is there or not. So why we need to do it manually? We are software engineers, so we can create a program. So I've already created one file which is known as model.py with the help of Pydantic, and we have all the validation checks in there. So once anyone will hit these APIs, the Pydantic API will the Pydantic validation will trigger and check all the things we have coded in the models.py, and after the check is completed, then only it will store everything in the MongoDB. So that's why it should be having a asynchronous call. Because what is asynchronous call definition? You can just tell me in the comment, but the real use case over here is of the asynchronous call. It will wait for the resources. Asynchronous call will be wait for the resources. For example, if I hit slash student in a post call, I'm creating a new student in my DB. So unless and until the validation check is completed, it won't go and store into MongoDB, and the API won't fail, because the asynchronous call will wait that this data up till all the checks is complete, and then it stores into the DB. Okay, so that's why the asynchronous call is important with our fast API, the Python code, and the database itself. Okay, hope you got it. Asynchronous is at same time. Yes, everything is at same time. That's what I was talking about. The validation, the storing, but after the validation, it will store. Asynchronous independent. Yes, it is independent. So let's have the main.py code, and I will. Okay. So I've changed the complete code itself because it's a huge code. If I do it live over here, if one by one I start typing it, it will take another 15 to 20 minutes. I don't want to waste those time, so I've just copy pasted the code, and this all I will be explaining line by line, and then I will be giving you and providing you this code in Discord. Of course, that's the only POC to me, point of contact. Okay. Let's start with this. We already know about the fast API and HTTP execution and status code 200, 401, 404, 201. We have already seen 500, and we have already talked about the bson object ID and of course the bson.error invalid ID. So the with the ID which doesn't exist in the MongoDB itself, so we are using the invalid ID over here for that. Okay. I will be going a bit faster. I think you all now are now comfortable with all this, the new terminology, so we can go with. So now from database import student underscore collections. So in MongoDB we will be having our collection name, and I've already named it. So it will be student underscore collections, and then from models I'm importing what is this model. We have already seen this model.py. We have created student create, we have created student update and student out. Yes, we have seen this three in model.py. So this is our student create, then nothing but student update, and the last one is student out. The first one was the parent class student base, and we are using all this inside other three child classes. Okay, and the title is learning fast API. Okay, so let's have one first definition, which is student helper. And why dictionary? Because Python works in list and dictionary. The JSON format, this is the JSON format in Python. It's it converted into list and dictionary. So I also have a comment for you all to understand. It converts a raw Mongo document into shape student out expects. So it's nothing but from the id, from db, we will be calling the id, and then we are converting that particular id data with the data associated with the particular id into a string format, and that format is nothing but a dictionary because it's in a JSON format. Okay, so this is what the student helper, because if you want to perform anything in the Python, the data can be into collections. The collection is nothing but list, tuple, set, and dictionary. And when we talk about the JSON, the data will be get converted into the dictionary, and if there is more than one dictionary, it should be inside a list. That is known as an, in JSON it is known as array of objects. In Python it is known as nested dictionary inside list. Okay, I've already talked about this in my previous life and shown you how it is be in a student.json file that we have deleted for this life. Okay, so the next is to object underscore id. So I already have the comment that validate slash convert a path params into a MongoDB object or 400 cleanly. 400 is nothing but a bad request, and I've already talked about the query params. So this is a path params, and I will be explaining you this while we will be hitting the APIs from the Postman. What is the importance of this method over here? Okay, let's jump onto our first API. We have already seen this app.get, and if you hit the slash, how we will be hitting the slash is 127.0.0.1:8000 slash, then you will be getting a message and welcome to CODEWITHNM. So this is a basic API we have created. Then we have created slash student. Now I have added few things to it. Previously it was very simple. Now because we need to have a DB in place, and the DB and everything should be inside a asynchronous call, that's why I've added word asynchronous. The function is the same, get student. Now also I have just added this response underscore model. Now what is this response underscore model? I will be, let me just open this response model. It's fast. Okay, okay, let's not go deeper that much into this. The response model is I'm getting a call. 1 second. Okay, now it's, let me quickly check my face is visible. Yeah, my face is visible. I was getting a call. Okay, so response model, I'm not getting very deeper inside this. Just understand in this way that this is to tell the Python code. This is to tell the Python code that check the shape and structure of the data itself. Like we have name, and we have course, we have age, we have email. So this all are there or not. For example, if age is missing, the name is missing, the shape, it means the complete shape itself, something is missing inside it, the email or age or course, anything, then raise an exceptions. Okay, means raise an error itself. That's what this is all about. The response model equals to list student, means it tells the FastAPI to validate the shape and output of this student out, nothing else. Then let's come to asynchronous. We need to have the asynchronous call for our get underscore student, and then we are creating this student over here, awaits student underscore collection dot find dot to list blah 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 blah. Sir, what is this? This is getting above our head. It's nothing but we have created one variable students await, because if there is a asynchronous call, I've already told you it will wait for everything to be, or for the resource which is pending to be complete. For example, you are waiting for the name and course. You already have a name, but you are waiting for the course, so you won't execute everything and say the course is missing. The asynchronous, with the help of asynchronous call, you will wait up till the course is the course data is there, and then both the data name and course will be sent. The student underscore collection is nothing but our DB collections. How MongoDB works, MongoDB has a DB, means database. Inside database we need to create our collections, and then inside collections we need to create a data. Once I will jumping onto the MongoDB, I will be explaining you this collection. Just understand, this is inside the MongoDB. From there we are asking MongoDB to find to the list and the length equals to none, means nothing but the student. We are asking MongoDB to get all the students, nothing but we are saying MongoDB to get all the student into a Python list, because the student is nothing but a Python list. How we are saying into a Python list? See here, student underscore helper s is holding all the data, and this is the loop, because inside loop, if you want to access more than one data, it should be in loop, and this is in the box bracket, means ultimately we are converting this student, this is line number 32 student over here, and it holds all the data from DB itself, this variable, like we have already seen in the last live, that student equals to student.json. We are loading everything from JSON into a list and dictionary format into one variable, which is student. The same we are doing over here, but why the code is complicated? Because we are doing from a MongoDB. So in MongoDB, our table is known as collections, and from collections we are finding, and we are converting it to list, and everything we are storing into student variable, which is nothing but list now. And then we are returning here everything, means every response, but to access it, each and every response, because now it is a list, you need to use for loop to access and iterate to each and every data. Understood? This was easy. Okay, let's now jump to the second part, which is nothing but to get one particular student with the help of ID. So this is same, this is from the previous live, it is same. The response model I've just explained you, this is student out. Now here is list, here is only single student out, because here we are dealing with the entire data, and the data is in the list format, that's why it is list over here. And if we got any error means one, what the student out holds. Let's jump onto the model.py. At the bottom we see it's hold the ID, it checks that ID exists or not, nothing. So if in the list that particular ID doesn't exist, it will raise an error, nothing else. So here also, why we are saying that respond underscore model out, if we get that ID, it will be doing the next part we have below line number 36 on that particular ID, or else it will give us an error, which we have handled here with the help of HTTP exceptions. Okay, again asynchronous call, this is same student, and the ID will be string, because everything inside the Python and all, of course in the FastAPI, is considered as a string. And OID, what is OID? Let me jump onto the live chat also. Are you all there with me, or it is going all above your head? Just comment if you all are getting this, or it is getting a bit difficult for you all to understand. I don't think it is getting difficult. It's very easy. It's just now repeating of the same code. It's just repeating of the same code now. It's very easy. See, here we are just getting one student, and how we are getting it? With the roll number. For example, there are 1 to 10 students in the school, in your classes, in your college, and the roll number teachers called roll number 5, come here. So that particular roll number 5, for example, the roll number 5 is Rahul, he is interested in data science, so he will go to the teacher. Okay, of course, this is a simple thing we are doing in the world of API. We have created an API /student, and of course we are asking which student ID you want to fetch, and of course the response model, I have already explained you this. Clear till now? Okay, thank you for the response. And asynchronous definition is student ID, we are passing it that string. This all code we have already seen and learned in the previous live. What is OID? It's nothing but a variable I have created. For me, it's that object ID. You can have your own variable name, and here two object ID I have used, and this is the function name, and of course what it does and what it not, it will take a input as an student ID, and what it does is it nothing but it's convert the path parameter. So this is a path parameter, the student ID is path parameter. What is path? This complete path. Endpoint is known as path. This is endpoint /student /student ID. For example, /student /5. So it converts into the path parameter, converts the path parameter to object ID, because in the MongoDB, if you want to search this particular student, it should be in the language, the understandable language of MongoDB. That's the simplest example. And the next line is nothing but yeah, same thing we are doing that we have already done on line number 32. We are doing the same. We are accessing our MongoDB, means nothing but our schema, our table, and we are finding one. Here we were finding everything. Find one, we will be finding one. And how we are going to find? With the help of ID. So underscore ID, and this OID is nothing but the user of our API will be passing. So that will be stored in OID in a form of string, of course, and then we are going to match this underscore ID from our MongoDB ID. If it is match, then we are returning that student. If not, then we are raising an exception, 404 student not found. Simple, very simple. Means it's the same thing we have already seen in the previous live fast API. If the ID is matching, return that student. If not, says that student not found or student doesn't exist, of course. Then next thing is the post. We are creating the new student. So while time of creating a student, we have already seen if you create a student, the status code should be 201. So here it's the same, post call slash student, the status code equals to status, the library we are already used, imported, http exception and status. So we have seen the exception one. See here the exception 400, we have already seen this. And of course this 404 http exception, we have already also seen this one example. Here we are passing the status dot http underscore 201 underscore created, because I've in the previous lab I already told 200 is for success. If you're creating something new with the help of your API, the status code should be 201, and it's ultimately means created or creating something, means created. If it hits successfully, it will say created. And the response model, of course, will be student out, because everything should be associated with the ID, because MongoDB works like that. Any new data in the MongoDB will by default give that ID to that data. Simple, as simple as that. Again, asynchronous call, then def @student, because all the APIs works with the methods. So this is the method adding student, and what we are passing, student create. Now where the student create came from? The student create came from our model.py. Okay, so if I come to model.py, this is the student create. There is nothing inside it, because this is a child class. Every validation we have already written in the student base class, and we are importing here. So let's go to the student base class, and this all validation we have already discussed, name, course, age, email, and everything. For the name and course, it cannot be null, and everything will be implemented to this post call while time of creating student. Okay, so we are firstly we are saying if the data if passed from the end user, it should go under the validation first. Understood? And line number 47 is the result. Here I've used student. Here I'm first using the result, because await student collection, insert one. One time what I'm doing is this post call can create one data at that particular moment. There you can also create your own APIs which can take 10 or 20 data at single API hit. You can create that, but for understanding sake, I'm creating this API that one data should be inserted one time in the DB itself. Okay, and this we already seen, student dot model underscore dump, what it does. This I have already seen. So if you are new to code with and I'm new to this live, make sure you see my previous line, which is #8 about fast API. You will understand this half of the code already, what is student dot model dot dump. Okay, and then now we are having on line number 48, we are creating a new student. This is my variable name, you can name it whatever you want, and here we are trying to find it, result dot inserted ID, and then we are returning. Why we are finding it? Because once you hit the post call, means you created that particular for example Rahul, let's take Rahul. You created new student data in your DB, then we need to fetch it and display it to the end user that this Rahul data has been successfully created. That's why I'm storing it into the new variable. Okay, let me quickly switch to live chat also. Meantime, let's see if any doubt is there in the live chat. Okay, and why we are passing this id? Because here above the id was not created. Once the data has been stored to the db, MongoDB will create that ID, and then we are storing that into the new student and returning it to the user of the API with the ID. That's why we need that ID with the complete data. The data is nothing but name, course, age, email. Okay. So hope this @post is clear to you with along with the db code. So db code is again and again same thing. We are not using not very high level things over here. Once now the headache will be only to install the MongoDB, create the db itself and collection itself. Okay, then everything is done from our side once you get all this. Now the update part, and here is the effort part, because we are allowing user to update their name, their email, their age and course, but we won't allow them to update the id itself. And of course, if you want to update any particular student, you need to get the student with the help of their id. Okay, so that's why slash student id we are asking from the end user from of which student you want to do it, and the response model is same student dot out, because it should be associated with the id, and id should be matching the id they have entered should match with the MongoDB ID itself. Okay, again the synchronous call def update student, and we are asking for the ID string format, and student update. What is this? This is the validator we have created in model.py. Okay, and then OID, it's the object to object ID. I've already explained you above. Now only update fields the client actually sent. If the client sent name, only name, so update only name. Don't go and update the age, name and anything else. Don't touch other fields. That's why this code is all about. So update data k, I took the k variable. We for iterating the data which ultimately user is going to send from API itself. So v in student.model.dump.item, if v is not none, means we hold something, then the update data will holding that something, means this update data is a variable, and this is our whole logic over here is saying that v in student.model.dump.item, if v is not none, means it is not empty, then v is holding something. For example, I'm changing the Rahul name to Nilesh, and then v is holding Nilesh, and that Nilesh is ultimately stored in the update underscore db. Okay, I hope you are getting this, because we don't want to touch the original data, so that's why we need to load it into a new variable. For your case, it's a new variable, and we will manipulating the loaded data in this variable, and we will be checking other things. We won't directly touch the db. In real world also, you don't directly touch the db. That's why this is important. Okay, if not update data, so raise http exception status quo 400 detail no field provide to update. For example, if someone tried to hit this API in update call /student id, for example 5, and they are not providing anything inside the API body, so it should be a bad request. 400 is a bad request, and we need to say that no field provide to update, means they not providing the name, they are not providing the age, they are not providing the email, they are not providing the course itself, means they are not providing anything. Okay, so there should be an exception over there. Then result equals to await student underscore collection and update one. So this is nothing but in result we are waiting for the particular data which end user wants to update, and with the help of id we are updating that particular data in db. Why in db? Student underscore collection is the db. The function name of MongoDB to update anything is update one. Here the function name is insert one, find one. This are the MongoDB command in Python. Okay, so don't get confused from where I'm getting this and why it is in white, why it is not in the other colors. Like Python is identifying the variable in other color, not in other color, if in other color, but by Python is not identifying this, because this is a MongoDB command. This is a command from Python to MongoDB. Okay, Now hope this is clear. Okay, so if result dot match count equals to 0, raise again 404. For example, the end user is trying to update uh, ID 11 and we have up till ID 10, so there should be an exception saying that 404 student not found, means match result will be 0. We are trying to match with particular ID and we didn't find anything, means the match result will be 0 itself, and then we are raising an exception of 404 student not found. And if this is not the case, means this exception is not the case, this exception is not the case, means ultimately they have done everything correctly. They have done everything correctly. For example, they want to have change the Rahul's name, and Rahul ID is 5, so they have properly passed /student/5, and they want to change Rahul name from Nilesh, so it will now come to this, and with the help of ID we find and then we update that particular data, for example name to Rahul from Nilesh, and then we update and store everything inside the DB. This is how update call will work after applying validator, and of course after attaching or connecting our MongoDB. Hope put call is understood, and this is the last, the delete call itself, and this is very easy. After explaining the app.detail, I will be jumping onto the MongoDB. I will be taking 5 minutes break, and then you all also just stand a bit and just walk around in the room, stretch yourself, and take a fresh air, drink one, have a glass of water, and then come to understand and learn MongoDB itself. Okay, let's jump onto the app.delete, and same, we can't delete everything from the DB, so that's why we are asking that which particular student you want to delete, and just provide their roll number. In our case it's ID, so /student/ID, and of course this should be an asynchronous call, so it is an asynchronous function over here, and the ID should be in the string format if you are working with the Python, and then to object underscore ID, it's the same thing we have already seen again and again. Now the result equals to in the student collection, this is the database, and we want to delete, and we are deleting with the help of ID. No data is required, nothing, the name is not required, the email is not required, the age is not required, the course is not required, because we just want to delete the student with the help of ID. So we are saying the MongoDB that inside the collection use this function delete one. If you use delete, it will delete everything. So delete underscore one is the MongoDB command to delete one particular thing from the DB, and that particular thing we are referencing with the help of ID itself. If result.delete count equals to 0, means delete count equals to 0 means HTTP exception 404 means that particular ID student is not there, that particular ID student is not present in our database. That's why we are raising an exception that 404 student not found. The same thing, the same like match count equals to 0. So here also we are trying to match it, the result, because this result is storing the particular ID after deletion. So once this is deleted, then what we are doing it, we are checking the delete count. How we are checking it? This result is holding that deleted ID, means it is gone. Now we are verifying this ID, and here the delete count, this ID should not be present into our complete DB itself. The count will be 0, of course, because there will be no matching ID in our DB after deletion. So after deletion there will be no matching ID, but if someone provide an ID, for example roll number 11, it is not present, then this exception will be raised, that student not found, status code 404, and message will be sent. When if the exception is there, this message will be sent, student not found. But if this line number 72 deleted that particular ID, it won't go inside this if, means this if won't execute, it don't execute, because we have deleted one ID successfully, and it will return a message student deleted. And this is very simple code of Python. If you know Python basic like if and else, and if you know classes, method and object, this is the simplest code. It's just the naming of the variable I've done in a professional way, like delete underscore to underscore object underscore. That's why the code is looking like a bit complex, but it's nothing but it's a combination of all the things we have already learned from scratch from hash1 up till now. It's the combination of everything inside creating our own API validation and everything. So I'm done with the explanation of the all the validators, of course, and main.py. Let's take a 5 minutes break. We will be back at 10:02, and then we will be starting with the installation of MongoDB. And after installation, we will be creating our own DB inside MongoDB and own schema. And of course, after that, we will be having the connectivity code of our APIs of our Python code with MongoDB, and then we will be seeing live example. We will be hitting the APIs back to back from Postman and seeing our MongoDB actually is updating or not. And then you can call, if you understand this, you can call yourself a Python backend developer, because you now know Python. You can create your own API. Now that API is getting, fetching, deleting, updating, creating the data in actual DB, in the real DB. In real world, everything is controlled in the DB itself. So after this, you will be you can call yourself as a backend engineer in Python. Okay, let's take a quick 5 minutes break. Okay, I'm back and I hope you had a glass of water. Okay, as someone was asking, a new viewer, I would like you to explain contractor or and how abstraction works. I'm not sure. Are you saying constructor and how abstraction work in Python? That's what are you asking? Uh, Okay, for constructor, I've already explained this in my previous live, which was all about oops in Python. You can go through it. Constructor is nothing but a special type of function in Python. We use underscore underscore. We need an underscore underscore to use it to declare it in the Python. It simply just can give you a high level explanation of it right away, and we use self parameter inside it, and all the detailed explanation I've already done more than 2.5 hours of live on oops, so you can go through on it. Abhay, it's Abhay. I'm addressing to you. And abstraction in Python, it's the abstraction in all the programming language, it's same only because it's a concept, and the concept of the abstraction is to hide the complex implementation details of the essential features of the user. For example, if you want to hide few data or a few methods in Python, you can do it with the abstraction. Abstraction is nothing but a blueprint of a class that cannot be initialized directly, and I've already explained this also in my oops live, so make sure you go through it. Okay, I hope this answer your question, Abhay. Okay, now let's jump on to MongoDB. Okay, I'm on this. So if you're doing it with me, I will be explaining you from where you need to download the MongoDB in your system and everything. I want to revise in code. Yes, of course, if you go through my oops live, there is code and everything. I've just took a real world example, and with the help of that I've explained it wonderfully. So make sure you go through that live, Abhay. Okay. Okay, now let's jump onto the MongoDB first. So before jumping onto the MongoDB, I've asked this question and I'm asking it again. Is MongoDB a SQL or no SQL database? First of all, MongoDB is a database. Yes, MongoDB is a database. So just quickly answer in the live chat. Is it no SQL or SQL? Meantime, I will be okay, let me quickly zoom in on the Google. Just type MongoDB and there is a first link, and meanwhile you can answer this. What is MongoDB? It's a SQL or no SQL. You just type MongoDB on the Google, hit the first link, and then something like this opens in front of you. You can sign in with your Google. It's simply just click on sign in and just provide your Gmail ID and done. And then go to the product. Inside here we need to install work with MongoDB data in a GUI, so you need to download it. So to download it, just click on the products, come to tools and compass, click on the compass, and you will be navigated to the download link of MongoDB compass. So MongoDB Compass is nothing but the UI representation of the MongoDB itself. We can do it with the terminal, but I don't want to complicate things more. Already we have learned about the data validation in FastAPI using Pydantic. So this is a bit heavier. No sequence. Perfect. Your answer is correct, and a clap for you. MongoDB is no SQL database. So just once this is open, just hit on download, and according let's click on download. Let me do it here in live. And then there are other things also. Once you click on download, you will be navigated. For example, you have this at last and MongoDB shell download. If you love to control MongoDB to handle your database with the commands, there are the commands like in SQL we have command to create RDB. If you know, create table, create star, select star. This are the commands. If you don't want to do that command, you just come to MongoDB compass download GUI, and you can go through this if you want. It's the about the product and documentation and everything and the versions. So this is a stable version, it says, and I am using Windows. If you're using Linux or Mac OS, so you can select the platform itself from the drop down, and just don't change the package. It should be exe by default. It's the only option for Windows, and just click on download. Okay, once the setup is download, you can double click on the setup and just do next, and it will be installing the MongoDB in your system. That's it. I've already done it. I've already installed it, so I'm not doing it, but I have showed you how to do it. Simple. Let me open my MongoDB, and let me bring my MongoDB in front of you. So let me close the student first, and this is how the interface of MongoDB is. If I can zoom in a bit. Okay, so in my left side you can see my queries, data modeling. Just leave that. This is a compass, means the GUI of MongoDB we are using in this live. And here is the my complete DB name. I've just named it as CODEWITHNM. By default it comes with admin, config and local. It comes with admin, config and local. Here, once you have your mouse on whatever name you have given, for my case I've given CODEWITHNM, you can see this plus sign. That is nothing but create your database itself. It's nothing but creating your database. You just need to hit on this, name your database. So I've already created it CODEWITHNM, so I'm just saying it CODEWITHNM. And the collection name, as we are into a story and understanding all the Python concept with a story, which is nothing but a CODEWITHNM institute, so my collection name will be students. Don't click on this time series, and we are nothing to do with here, so leave it like this and just hit on create DB. So your DB name is, don't forget your DB name is CODEWITHNM. In my case, in your case, you can name it whatever you want. And collection name, this is table. If you know SQL, there it is known as table. In MongoDB, it's known as collection. So your collection name is students. Done, and just click on create database. I'm not doing it because I've already done it. So after you click on create DB, it will create something like this, CODEWITHNM, and click on this, you will see student as a collection. Okay, if you're doing with me, give me a thumbs up. If you understand it, if you want to do it offline, if you understand this, just write clear in the chat, so I can proceed and start connecting our MongoDB with our code. That is the next step, and then we will play around with the API, and that's what I'm excited. You should be excited that okay, I learned Python, I've created my own APIs, I have my own MongoDB. Now I'm just hitting my APIs from Postman, playing around with data, storing it, deleting it, updating it, creating it. This is excited, and I am very much excited because I love software engineering. Okay, I'm getting the response in the live chat. Okay, and I've just created one dummy record over here, and you can see the ID I was talking about, underscore ID, and this is the object ID which MongoDB creates itself. I'm just took a random example over here, just John, and he's interested in computer science, age 21, and the email. Okay, so let's do this with the help of our API, and to do it we need to connect our MongoDB. Just a second, sorry for that. And we need to connect our MongoDB with our Python code first, means our APIs first. So let's jump on to VS Code, and let's start connecting our DB with API. Okay, so that's what the database.py we have created, and let's have the code in place. So first thing first, I will be importing OS, and I will be explaining you code once I've complete this code. Remember, we in the requirement.txt we have also installed one library known as motor, and now we will be utilizing that library, and then I will be explaining you what is motor is all about. Okay, our string input output, and because in db it's nothing but input and output, and it has many things. This library has many things, but we are only interested in asynchronous input output motor client. I will be explaining you everything, each and everything, just bear with me. And let's have mongo uri. It's nothing but URI or URL. If you work with websites and everything, you know about this. And get env means get operating system dot get environment, and here you can do this. You can create dot environment, and you can have this everything over there, and then from there you can call it as a variable if you know what is env file is all about. If not, you can do it the way I am doing it, because this project we are keeping it into our system and not making it publicly live and accessible to everyone. So this is secure with you in your system. If you're going live, then you need to have a .env file, and everything should go inside that env file. Now it's about localhost. In your case, it can be anything. So how we can identify in your MongoDB, you can have that localhost, means your MongoDB is listening on which port of localhost. So mine, it is listening on localhost 27017, and this is the by default port. For your also it will be listening on 27017. Okay, so this is the local host, means this is like our API is hosted on 127.0.1:8000 is the port. So 27017 is the port, and our MongoDB is live locally on this local host, means our database is hosted on our local host. The port is 27017. Okay, that is what this URI is all about. Okay, now let's have the db name and everything. So let me name this variable as db name itself, and of course again the same thing, os.get env, and inside it let me pass the mongodb name. So that thing is mongo, and we need to underscore db underscore name, and then we will be passing our db name. So what was the db name I have given? It's nothing but CODEWITHNM. This was my db name, and the collection name was student. db name was CODEWITHNM, the collection name was student. Let's have client, and I think there is a typo in client, client, and this will be a asynchronous what we have imported over here. Why asynchronous? I don't want any data or anything go lost. Why it will go lost? Because we have validation in check. Might in some of the case validator will execute in milliseconds, microseconds. In some of the cases it will take time, so asynchronous call will wait for that data. Okay, and the db is nothing but our db name, and ultimately now the collection. So I am naming the student collection. Now how I am naming this as student collection? In main.py we have used this student collection, student collection, student collection. Now we need to address it. We need to create that variable. Yes, so we need to address it. Student collection equals to, it is inside db, and db is nothing but the client db, which we make it as this is our CODEWITHNM client db accessible, and inside it we have students as a collections. Done. So we have our local host, the port where our MongoDB is working. In your case it will be the same unless and until you go and manually change it. Then our db name, and then our collection name. This was the code to connect your Python or your FastAPI with your MongoDB. Once I execute this, then only it will connect it. We have just typed our code. Meantime, let me switch to the live chat. If there is any doubt, you can clear it right away. Right now, I will wait for a few seconds. Okay. And why we have done this setup of because in previous life we were using a student.json file. There was a json file and very local db, and it was unsecure. There is nothing, no asynchronous call can be made on the student.json. So this is data base.py, and we are replacing a student.json into an actual db. This files hold the reading and writing flat json file request from our app, which is nothing but our APIs, into real database. MongoDB is real database, and centralizing the connection. This is the file we are centralizing the connection. Means this is the only go-to file for MongoDB connection. Means you have anything, any error regarding MongoDB, you know what needs to be checked. Database.py file. That's why architecture is important. Understood? Okay, so let's jump onto the code. Import OS. Import OS is nothing but OS is operating system, and we are importing it because MongoDB is also there in our system locally. If your MongoDB is live on the cloud, then you need to provide the cloud URL, which will be a secured network URL. So you need to also provide the credential and everything that is in the form of environment variable. Okay, not here, not in the local things. Okay, understood this. Environment variable. With the help of environment variable, everything in the cloud works, and that we need to set it for the backend also. If you're working in the APIs and you have environment variable there, you need to send the environment variable. What is environment variable? Leave it right now. We need to understand the DB connection. Okay, now we need to understand from motor asynchronous. This is line number 2. We need to understand motor and what are the libraries, a function I'm using it. So import motor asynchronous MongoDB client. So it used for the MongoDB client. What is client? We are the client. We will be using those API from the Postman. So we are the client. Okay, so client interaction. Motor is officially recommended when we are using the asynchronous call in our code base with the MongoDB. So because of asynchronous call, this motor library is recommended. It brings the asynchronous driver for the MongoDB, and when working with an asynchronous framework like FastAPIs. So remember this in very simple way. I don't want to complicate it. If you're working with FastAPIs, you're working with MongoDB, asynchronous call is important, and always use motor. That's it. By this, very simple. It's let database call run without blocking the event loop. Why blocking the event loop? Because if your user just provided the name and waiting for the course, or naming waiting for the age, and you don't know how many API calls can be made in per second. There are hundred of users are using or utilizing your API, and many of them are stuck on, for example, if it in a queue, first 10 is in queue, and out of first 10, 9 executed, one is waiting for user to enter their name, age, or anything, any other operations with the help of API they are performing. So the rest 99 or the next 90, next 50 calls will be in queue, and then it will ultimately be a deadlock. So asynchronous call, what it will do, it will go further, and it will execute the rest 50, 60, 90, and wait for that one particular missing resources API call. Okay, so this is most important. So motor is most important. Hope now it is clear. Okay. Okay, so let's jump onto this Mongo URI and everything. I already explained this. It's Mongo URI means the get environment variable. I'm setting that Mongo URI, and it is by default MongoDB by default. Once you install the Compass, it is by default set to localhost 27017. I haven't set it. In your computer, if you don't touch the local host and change the port, it will be the same. It will be the local host 27017. MongoDB will be running on this port and local host. So make sure you don't touch it. This is a standard address for a MongoDB instance running locally on your system. Understood? Okay. The next one is the DB name. Again, os dot get environment local name, and in our local DB is nothing but code with nm. It's the same thing. And then this client asynchronous IO means input output motor client, and we are passing our MongoDB URL. It's nothing but it's create the actual connection object with the MongoDB server. Means the MongoDB server is running on this port, so it will this asynchronous call will create a connection with the MongoDB and our Python code. Okay. I don't want to touch the complex words and everything. Means it's a client manager connection pool internally. I don't want to go into the networking. That pool and everything is the networking keywords. I don't want to touch the networking part over here. That's why I'm not going into that deep of the asynchronous and this localhost and everything, because networking is something new it's not new, but for here, for right now, we are learning MongoDB connection with the API. So here it is a new concept for you all. I don't want to jump from topic to topic and then won't cover what is actually meant to cover in this life. Okay. And then the next is nothing but we are saying that client to select this DB name, which is nothing but the code with name. Select that DB and connect that DB with our server. Okay. And the last part is that from that DB we want to get the student collection and store it into the student collection variable, because this is the variable we are using throughout our code. That student collection dot read, student collection dot add, or find one, update one, this all, insert one. Oh, hope db.py means data.py is from my side. It's complete. You got it. It's hope I'm just thinking that you all got it. Okay. Now let's open the Postman. Let's hit one API and see how it works. Now let me open the Postman itself. And let's see the magic of our creation. Let's see the magic of our creation. Why I'm saying this, let's see the magic of our creation is we have created the API's code, connected the DB, created the DB itself, created the collection itself, and now it's just playing with our created tools. So before hitting two APIs itself, we will get an error because I haven't started the code itself. So first let's start the code, and then the main.py is the main file. It is responsible to call model.py. Also, it is responsible to call the database.py. So we need to execute main.py itself. If you're confused which file we need to execute. Now we are dealing with FastAPI. Don't forget this. And to run FastAPI, the code was uvcron file name, which is in our case it's main, colon, in main we are dealing with app itself. This is our app, so colon app, and hyphen reload. Why? Because that flag is used if we change anything in our code, it will by default reload the thing. So let me have this command uvcron main colon app hyphen reload. Let's hit enter and let's start our FastAPI server. So it is listening on the port http 127.0.0.1.8000. And now let's open the Postman. Let me just quickly close this all. And this is the get call because I've already have one data in the DB. Let me quickly show you. This is the data John and computer science age 21 and the email with John's ID. So let's get all the student. This is the API we have created for all the student. HTTP 127.0.1:8000/student means it will get all. It will fetch all the data in the DB. So let's hit send, and we have only one data itself, of course. So we got John and the same data with the ID itself. Okay. Now let's create more data to this. So let's create it. I come to the post call. See, this is before it was get, now it's post, and the API is same. and we need to pass the data. Let's me add my data, and I'm interested in the course AI. Okay, let's say I'm interested in machine learning. Okay, the age, and of course my email. So let's have CODEWITHNM only. This is the original CODEWITHNM website. I'm just addressing it email. Let's send it first. Let's click on the send. If there is any issue, we will solve it. If not, then we will be fixing it. So it says value error, must be a valid email. Of course our validator is working, that's why I passed without @. See, in the body itself, I'm not sure it is visible. Let me quickly see. I hope this is visible. This Postman is visible. The error is visible and readable to you all. Just give me a thumbs up quickly so I can continue. Fast, 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 fast. Fast, fast. I just want you all to give me a thumbs up if the Postman is visible to you all. Let me open the Postman body, and this is visible because okay, I can zoom in. I hope now it will be visible. Is it visible? I think, yeah, now it will be visible. So uh yes, so it says, it's basically here, let's focus on the error itself. It says value error, it says body and email, means the error is inside the body and the error is specifically with the email, and it says value error must be a valid email address, and the input is also saying is codewithnm.com. So it is not an valid email because our validator we have in place, like it should have, it must have @, it must have dot also. So let's add gmail.com, and now it is a valid email, and now name and everything. So now let's resend this API again, and let's see. So it bringed me the name, the course, the age, and the email. The status code is 201, which is the status code for the data which has been created with the help of post call. And it also bring me the underscore ID which has been given by MongoDB to our data. That's what I explained you in the code. So let me open the code again. So this was our code post call, and here the line number 48 that I was explaining you, that this await student collection, find one with the help of ID, and then we are returning that newly added student, means newly created student. And we can see in the Postman the data we have sent means we are creating the new student, and in the output we are getting that student with the ID itself. That's what we have done the code. Okay, now let's jump back to our get API, get all student, and let's hit it again. Let's see John and Nilesh data is there or not. So if we hit it, you can see John data first, and second Nilesh data with their IDs. Done. Also we can only have once we can use the get or fetch data with the help of IDs also. So let's copy Nilesh ID. Let's copy the Nilesh ID only, and let's pass that /student/ Nilesh ID and send it, and you can see only Nilesh data is coming over here. Now let's check in DB also, because I don't love to or like to check in DB, because that's why we have created all the APIs, and we can if we are fetching it from the MongoDB, and MongoDB is generating the underscore IDs, then this data are being created in the DB and we are getting it successfully. But your sake, let me open the DB itself, and let's check this all data has been created there or not. So let me open the DB itself. So this is our MongoDB, and you are saying, okay, there is one data only, you need to refresh it. This is the refresh icon. You can see refresh document. I'm just gonna hit it, and once I've hit it, you can see the Nilesh with the object ID, name, course, age, and email. This is our data there in the MongoDB. But again, you have a get call and you have successfully connected your MongoDB with Python, so you don't need to again and again check this into the MongoDB. Just hit the get call, get all the created documents. I mean, this is the this data in MongoDB known as document. In your case, it's the data or the data created with the help of post call. So this all document present in the MongoDB, just hit the get call from the Postman and you will get all those values. Okay, let's create one more. Let's create one more, and then we will update any of that three and then delete any of that three. Okay, let's see those two operations also. And now it's everything is done, the code is done, we are enjoying our APIs, we are playing around with it. So let's create one more. Let's have Rahul in place, and Rahul was interested to learn, I think, Python, and Priya was interested in data science. Yes, and Rahul age, let's say Rahul is 18, and Rahul's email, let's say rahul@gmail. Okay, let's hit it. Rahul get a new ID. Let's search Rahul with the ID itself. Let's change it, hit it, the Rahul data, we will get the only Rahul data. Let's remove this, hit it, we will get all three datas, John, Nilesh, and Rahul is the third one. And of course, if you want to, if you are too much excited, want to see into the DB itself, let's refresh it and you will see one of three. So this is first one, this is second, and the Rahul is the third one. Let's update the Rahul's data and change it into the Priya's data. So let me quickly open the Postman and let's jump onto the put call. If you see, this is the put and the student, the ID should be Rahul's ID. So let's come on to here and just scroll down and get the Rahul's ID, because we want to update the Rahul's ID. And let's paste the Rahul's ID, come to the body, and then this was the example we have seen in the previous live for the FastAPI. We don't want this, let's remove this. And of course, if you are not getting what needs to be passed into the body, you have the Rahul's ID, copy it, come to the get call, pass this into /student/ID, because this is the ID associated to Rahul. Now we have all the data. Let's copy this, come here, and let pass that data as body into our update call, which is nothing but put. And we don't require the ID here, so remove it. Let's change Rahul into Priya, and she was interested in data science, SCIENCE. Her age is 21, and let's say Priya @gmail.com, and I don't require this comma here. And let's now send it. Let's see the Rahul's data will be updated into Priya's or not. Okay, or if there is any error. So we didn't get any error, we got 200, which is successful status code, and we got the updated data of Rahul to Priya. Now how we can check it? This is the ID. We can also fetch it the same ID. This is the ID we got the Rahul's data. Now if I click on send on this ID itself, you will be seeing it, the same ID data has been updated to Priya. But also let's copy this ID, and for your sake I will be checking this into MongoDB Compass. So this was the ID. Let me do Control F, and so see 6A4FD, and this is the Rahul's ID, 6A4FD, and the end F2FEC. At the end here it says F2FEC, but here it still is Rahul because we haven't refreshed our document. And now if I refresh it, the Rahul Python 18 Rahul@gmail will be changed into Priya Data Science 21 Priya@gmail. And if you see, the ID is same, 6A4F. I still have that ID here, and F2FFEC. So you say we have successfully updated the Rahul's data into Priya's one. Now let's delete one ID. Let's delete Nilesh data with the help of our API itself. So let's jump onto the Postman. That is the last thing we need to see. So I'm coming here, and the API is HTTP 127.0.1.8000. That's where our fast API is listening, and the port is 8000. The API is /student/Nilesh ID, and I don't need to pass anything. I just need to click on send, and it says status code 200. Message is student deleted. Let's check with this particular ID. Let's copy this ID. This is Nilesh ID, and if I come here and pass Nilesh ID in the get call and hit on the send, you can see student not found, 404 status code error, because the Nilesh has been successfully deleted. If you still have the doubt, remove this ID and let's fetch all the data inside our DB. So I can see John, I can see Priya, but I can't see Nilesh because we have successfully deleted Nilesh from our MongoDB. For your sake, I will also check in the DB itself. We have John, we have Nilesh, we have Priya, but let's refresh it. After refreshing the document, the Nilesh data is completely gone. And just let's celebrate, because we have successfully learned and created fast API and our own APIs. We have successfully connected our APIs, our Python code to a real MongoDB, a real database. And of course, we have learned the most important topic in the API world, which is API validation with the help of Pydantic, and we have created our own custom validation, and we have learned that also, and everything in place, everything is working fine over here, and we have seen this. Okay, now if you have any doubt, just ask in the live chat right here, right away. And of course, let's see one example. Meantime, if you are asking the doubt, let's create again. Let's create a Raul data, but without email. I don't pass an email, because what we have created a validator. The name is important, the course is important, the age is important, but the email is optional. So it should saved as none. Okay, let me open the VS Code for you, and then let's jump onto that validator. Let's jump onto the model, and here in our first validation, what we have done is we have created a validator on name and course, but for the email we are saying it's optional, and by default its value should be null if the student or the user of our API didn't pass anything. So let's see this example also. Let me open this, and I haven't have email of the Rahul here, and let's hit send. See, it says 201 created, and it save as null. Null and none is one and the same thing. So, and let's also check into the get call, and let's fetch everything. So we will have John, we will have Priya, and we will have Rahul, and as we haven't provided the email of the Rahul, it is null. If you want to see it into the DB, let me quickly open the DB and refresh it, and see the Rahul email is null. So we have our validators working in place. Also, if you want to see one, let me just quickly create one more and create one error, and our validator should raise an exception. So let's see which one we can do. Okay, space one, if we give it the space, it will remove on everything. We have already seen, I just purposely done the CODEWITHNM.com, and I have just not enter @Gmail, and it raise an exception. Must be an valid email. We have already seen this. I think we have covered most of the things. The must not be blank and white space. So white space, it doesn't make sense. If I created also a white space, it will remove with the help of strip. But let's have a name and course as blank. Let's pass it as name and course as blank, and see, let's check our validator is working fine or not. Let me open the Postman. Let's go to the post call, and let's again create Nilesh, and he is interested in machine learning, but we do not need to pass. Let me have this CODEWITHNM @gmail.com, and make sure it is string, so double quotes is required. And let's remove Python, let's remove Nilesh, and in Nilesh let's have 1 2 3 spaces, 1 2 3. Okay, and let's see will it generate an error and raise an exception or not. Let's hit it, and it's see 422 unprocessable content. Okay, and let's see the error, let's understand it. So it says value error, and it says it is inside the body, it is with the name. And what is the error message? It's value error must not be blank or white space. So it is blank, and of course we have the white space over there, 3 spaces. And the next is string too short. So body and course, and it says string should have at least 2 characters. So both of them we have seen that in the field we have minimum length of the string should be 2 and maximum is 50. And of course it does not contain a blank or white space. Okay, so let's remove the white space. Let's have space Nilesh, and here in course let's pass A and B. It has at least 2 letters. And let me open the code for you to recall that here in validator we have minimum length for course and name is 2 and maximum is 50. Okay, I won't go and give you an example of length of 50, but I can make you see the length of 2. And also I will providing this API and all the source code, so you can try in your local and play around with this. And this is a fun once it is completed. So I have a space here, and of course now it's AB, and let's have space after AB. Okay, it's gone. Let's have space after AB. Now let's hit send, and let's see it is created. Why it is created? Because we have the code. If there is a space, we have the code here at the field validator. If there is a space, v.strip means we are removing the trailing space before or after. And the title is I've already explained you, it will be saving as, if we pass small letters, it will be saving as first capital letter. And okay, let's see that example too. Let me open the Postman, and let me grab this ID. Let me come here, and let's first send and get all the data. So we have John, we have Priya, we have Rahul, we have Nilesh, and the space is removed if you see. And AB, see I have passed the AB, small a and B. If you see the body, I have passed small a and B, but that title dot split dot title has make that A and B capital. Okay, let's delete this Nilesh, and I will be creating the new one. Let me check that it has been deleted. Yes, it has been deleted. Let's pass Nilesh as small, and AB is also small. So instead of AB, I will be passing as machine learning small. And let's see that our code is working or not. I already know it's working. It will remove the trailing space, and also this dot title will make the first letter capital. So let's hit this again and creating a new thing in the DB, and you see it bring the response. It make the remove the space, trailing space, and of course make the Nilesh in capital, machine and learning space, learning letters in capital, small m, small l. You can see the difference right here, and it came from the DB. Also, if you want to check into the MongoDB, let me bring the MongoDB over here and refresh this. So see, N is capital, M is capital, L is capital, although we have passed small because we have coded in the validator that remove the trailing space, and of course make the first letter capital. I've shown you each and every example that we have coded, all the validator example, also the exceptional handling, all the errors, how we have handled it beautifully. I've created, fetched all the records from the DB, fetched a particular response from the DB with the help of ID, created a new student, updated a particular student, deleted a particular student, and it's fun. Once you created this all, it's fun. For example, let's take an e-commerce store, or let's take an inventory management. You have thousands and thousands of items, like for example in DMart, or for example for if you're international student learning from CODEWITHNM, because I have students from Kenya, US, Japan, Germany, Dubai. So for them I'm giving the example of Walmart. So they have an inventory management, and inside that they have a one particular product. That particular item is stored from when, how many quantities there, what is the price, and each and every stuff. So this all they can play with the APIs. You can play with the APIs. And now if you have a one beautiful UI, if every time your end user won't be a software engineer, of course, so you need to create a UI, because they won't understand the Postman and complex thing. Yes, so if you connect the UI with this MongoDB and this your API, then you are complete with your full stack project, and then you just need to deploy it. So you can deploy your project onto your UI on the Vercel and your backend and MongoDB. You can directly deploy it on the MongoDB itself and backend code, and then you can call yourself a full stack developer, a cloud full stack developer, a cloud full stack engineer. So this is how a full stack works. So now if you understand this, you can call yourself as a backend Python engineer, because now we have learned everything over here. Okay, so I think it's more than 2 hours for this, but this was the most important live in the every live is important for this Python series, because up to reaching up till this point, we need to know all the Python basics and all the file handling, the oops concept, the classes, and the fast API, what is API and everything. Then only you will understand this live. And this is most important, because now we have created our Python code, we have created our fast API, we have created the architecture over here, then we connected our MongoDB, we install the MongoDB, we understand the MongoDB, and everything is being connected and being showcased in the Postman. If you have any doubt, now let me jump onto the doubts and query parts. If you have any doubt and you are not comfortable to asking me in live, or you are not getting into one go, you will see this video offline and then understand. And then if you want to clear those doubt, make sure you join my Discord, because this is important. In Discord, I have created a channel for your success. I have a welcome channel. Once you join the Discord, you will be here in welcome channel. Then if you want to get the access of everything, each and every channel over here, you need to introduce yourself, and then you will get a role of a student, and then you can have access to everything. Here I have an announcement. Here I provide each and every announcement beforehand in the Discord. Then I have a proper roadmap up till to be an AI engineer. And first I have a roadmap how to be a Python backend engineer. I provide the session notes once my live ended. For example, this was a session note of FastAPI with all the source code and everything, with a detailed level of explanation inside a PDF. Why? Because PDF is accessible in any devices like mobile devices, tab, your computer or laptop. There is a doubt corner, you can ask your doubt over here. There's a code sharing, resource sharing, everything. There is a general that people usually communicate with me here. In general, they ask about their codes, and I provide them a proper detailed level of feedback, that what needs to be improved, what needs to be done, what needs not to be done. You don't over engineer. Sometimes people over engineer the code. They create the APIs and they make API so complicated that at the end they won't get what they have created. So over engineering is also a bad thing in the software engineers. And also there is a win in progress group. I provide all the MCQ types of questions and challenges here. And then there is a weekly challenge that here, like in interview, you will be getting and like theory type of problem statements, and then you need to solve that theory with the help of your coding knowledge. You need to create your code, and then you need to submit it in that half an hour or 1 hour of a interview, depending on the company to company. So this is all for your sake, and of course the challenge submission. So there is a guy, he actually started just submitting the codes and got my feedback about it. So you can also do this all stuff and improve yourself into Python. Okay, and the next step is, before jumping into the interview, you need to give a mock test, and mock test is always in the form of MCQ. So this is my website, CODEWITHNM. Let me quickly ping the website in the chat, and of course in the pinned comment you can find the link for the Discord and as well as for my website. So here you need to log in, and this is completely free. Discord is free, learning live is free. I don't need to mention this again and again. Everything is free. Discord is free, joining Discord is free, asking doubt is free. This quiz is free because this is a mock test. Before getting into the round one interview, you need to give a mock test for the companies. Once you pass this mock test, then only you can get a chance to give a interview round one. And what is this mock test? And nothing but in an MC format. You can give n numbers of attempt. If you fail also, nobody is judging you and nobody can see your result, of course. And if you fail also, you will get a proper explanation answer of that particular quiz you failed about. Okay, so just sign in and just give the quiz, and of course I will be keep on adding the quiz from my side over here, and other things. And for the career guidance, if you are interested for the career guidance, the first 10 slot is free for you, and I have already have 4 student lined and 1 student who wants to get into data analyst. So I've already have 5 seat full. The last 5 remaining, make sure you grab. This is first come first serve basis, so make sure you get this slot as free. I've already talked about it, how this will be going, that I will be talking about you and where you want to go in life, and providing you the roadmap and giving you the proper time to upskill yourself. And then after a month or 15 days or 2 months, depending on the speed you and grasping power of your in the terms of learning the programming language and other things, then we will have the second session that will be also free if you are under this 10 free slots. There I will be helping you to create your resume, and together we will be building your LinkedIn profile, and I will be showing you how to hunt down your desired company and get yourself placed and crack the interview. And this is also free up till 10 slots. So career guidance is free up till 10 slot. After 10 slot, why I'm making it paid, and it's very bare minimum. It's just the cost of uh, you can, in Mumbai, vada pav is famous. It's the cost of 2 vada pavs, or for your case, if you are international, it's the cost of 1 burger. In why I'm keeping it paid, because in my busy schedule I am also on job. So after that I need to create the quiz stuff, the Discord stuff, and everything. So I need to remove time, and for that I need to wake up after 12 a.m. at night, and because this everything is being recorded, I'm not just making you fill up the form and then your data will be lost. No, the data will be there, because after 1 month, if you come back and for your resume and other things, then you ask me, okay, this, so I have hundreds of students, I can't remember everyone, so I have a live database behind it, and that is the cost to keep that database. And for you all, that quiz is on the database, this guidance and everything, your data will be on the database. So I will be mapping the meetings and scheduling the Google Meets and everything with your data, that you have learned Python. The next thing, if you want to be a data analyst, you need to learn Excel, and everything roadmap will be recorded. For me, it is easy to go through that data, recall it, and again then give you the proper guidance. Okay, so that's why after 10 I need to made it paid. And because other things is free, learning from YouTube is free, Discord is completely free, pinging me anytime and getting your doubt clear is also completely free. Okay, so this is all about how you need to proceed if you want to be something in software engineering. There should be a proper roadmap. You can't jump from one YouTube to different YouTuber and learn. From one YouTuber you are learning data science, from me you are learning Python, from other you are learning ML. You won't get anywhere in life, because you don't have any proper roadmap, you don't have any goal what I want to become. Okay, so there should be a proper roadmap in life to achieve something. There should be a time limit of goal, because I want to be a AI engineer in next 6 months. That's make a sense. I want to be a AI engineer in next 5 months, 10 months, 10 years, 20 years. That doesn't make any sense. Let's have a realistic goal that is achievable for you all, and then you achieve it, and then enjoy your achievement, of course, because in software engineering it comes with a good package if you are placed in MNCs. Okay, so I can see there is no doubt, everything is clear. If there is a doubt, please make sure to join the Discord. The link is already in the live chat in the pin comment, and we can take it from there. We can connect offline, and any doubt, anything you can clear there on the Discord. Okay, so
there is nothing more for this video. The next live will be about Git and GitHub and how this all source code we will be taking from a local system to a cloud, which is Git and GitHub. We need to learn this, and that is also most important. Okay. So I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to make you market ready software engineer. Code with precision, ship with vision. Subscribe now and join the mission. And I will see you in the next live. Till then, take care. See you soon.